My Mile, late 40s, is disabled and lives alone. She has a caregiver that is flaky at best and no husband. She receives SSDI and a housing voucher. The housing voucher will expire at the end of her lease in August, and she will be homeless if my wife, 28F, wife, 29MTF, do and I not move in and take over her lease because she cannot afford housing on her disability income. She has many disabilities, including heart failure, and needs to have heart surgery this year, or her heart will be in critical condition. Even having to clean up a heavily soiled toilet from her mom's cycle whenever she was on it. She was also her mom's emotional support because her mom was single. My wife's grandma was the breadwinner while her mom did not work. She did provide the meals. Her mom and grandma were the extent of her family. They were very mean to her growing up. They tore her down, did not allow her to have friends, and were controlling. They held material things over her head, constantly accused her of lying, and her mom treated her like a spouse she didn't have. My wife didn't have internet access or a cell phone until after she turned 18. Her grandma passed away about 8 years ago, and my mill turned the entire household responsibility onto my wife. My wife could not handle it and left. They did not speak for 7 years due to the mistreatment she experienced and her mom's refusal to acknowledge where she went wrong as a mother. My wife and I have been together for 6 years and met shortly after her grandma passed. I was there when she moved out of her mom's. Both my wife's mom and grandma were narcissists. My father was very ill last year. This prompted us to reach out to my wife's mother, as my wife does not have any other family and was thinking about her. The reunion was great. Her mom was very warm and excited to have her around. Initially, I didn't see any of the behaviors that my wife described, but over time, they came out. Mill is very friendly and warm to me, does not demand things, and always tells me I'm her daughter now. She was even very receptive of my wife coming out as MTF trans to her. Mill has a caregiver through the state who is flaky at best, and she needs another. I admittedly was talked into enrolling as a caregiver to be paid by the state to help take care of her. She framed it as a good way for my wife and I to make more money because she doesn't need much help. This has obviously shifted. At first, she didn't need much help. Then she needed someone to come see her every morning. That was a big thing. She needed all this help first thing in the morning, but what she really wanted was for someone to bring her coffee and ice to chew on. Now she says she needs someone there all the time so she can fire her caregiver. She claims she can't cook for herself, clean, etc. But when I come in the evening to help her, she declines my help and says she'll do it. If my wife is there, she has no problem asking for thing after thing. She says she can't care for herself at all, but I know her other caregiver does not cook at all, and Mill has these big, complicated meals made from the night before if I come in the morning. She often exaggerates and stretches the truth to get what she wants. The cat has no food, and I need some now so I can feed him dinner. But I go, and she has a half-full bag of food. She claims she needs coffee ASAP or creamer because she's out. We go, she does have some, but not none like she claimed. She says her doctor apt is at 10 a.m., and we need to be there 2 hours early. We get there, she's not wanting to get ready, and the appointment wasn't till 12. She constantly stretches the truth or outright lies. The behaviors towards my wife have begun again. I see the signs. Her demanding things from my wife, telling my wife she needs to do something versus asking. I was in the restroom at Mill's house one day, and she did not know I was there yet. I overheard Mill laying into my wife and guilt-tripping the shit out of her because my wife told her we didn't have the money to buy her a carton of cigarettes. When I came into the room, Mill immediately calmed down and became very sweet. Well, the program that pays for her housing ends in August. We knew that one day we may have to move in to help her. We have seen no paperwork that confirms its ending, just her word after a weird phone call she got. "Oh, it's ending in August, so you'll have to come and take over my lease." My wife told her we'd figure it out but did not say yes. Now my Mill is trying to get her surgery scheduled before our current lease at our apartment ends, February, so we will be forced to move in then instead of August. She did not ask if we were okay with this. She just decided it's how things would be done. This is the same woman who will burst into tears about how she hates asking for things. So her solution is to not ask. She demands. She just does things without asking because she hates being told no. My wife told her without me there today that we would not be moving in February, and it was a shit show. MIL immediately blamed me for having cold feet and not wanting to move. Then she framed it as not blaming me, but rather showing concern because she knows I do get cold feet sometimes. I really did not appreciate this. She refused to take any accountability for past actions when my wife was a child. I spoke to her and my wife on the phone where I was very clear with my concerns. I said that I was concerned with the behavior towards my wife and that it was inappropriate for her to be treated like her mom's spouse as a child, and I would not live with someone who treats my spouse like their own. I said, from everything wife has told me and the behaviors I've seen, I'm concerned that the dynamic you had with her when she was a child will come back, and that's unacceptable. Living with you and helping you is one thing, but we need our own space, and wife cannot just run to your every call like when she was a kid. She did not acknowledge how her past behavior was wrong at all and made excuses. I pointed out how I heard her yelling at my wife and guilt-tripping her. Mill denied that happened. She also insisted that the reason she treated my wife the way she did was because it was a family dynamic where someone in the house was sick, her grandma at the time, so yes, her child did have to do a lot, but us moving in would be different because of me being her caretaker, and that is different than a family dynamic. Then I had to get off the phone for work. Mill ended up bawling her eyes out to my wife about how hard it was to open back up to her after everything that happened. And I thought you would have grown more since before. I don't see you as my spouse, I see you as my child and friend. Mill believes my wife was 100% wrong in moving out and that she was an incredible mom who did not a single thing wrong. She blames my wife for losing her house before and having to live with someone abusive after. She's never taken an ounce of accountability for anything she's done and continues to be very entitled and demanding. She inserts her opinions as facts and tells us what to do. You need to go vote for this. You need to call off of work for No King's Day. You need to do X, Y, and Z. The one that made me the angriest is she told us my wife needed to stop wearing dresses and dressing like a girl because it's too dangerous right now. I think it's a bad idea to move in with her. She can't even have a conversation about boundaries without a blow-up. My wife is struggling because she does not want to live with her, but doesn't want her mom to be homeless and feels like it's morally wrong to let her mom lose housing and become homeless. I don't want to live with my Mill because I'm certain it'll destroy my wife's mental health and the life we've worked so hard for. This might be wrong, but we decided not to have children together because we didn't want to take care of someone. Mill constantly says she's like a child who needs parents to care for her, and it's her turn to be the kid and our turn to be the parent. I really don't feel comfortable moving in with someone who needs to be cared for like that. I did not sign up to be someone's caretaker for the next who knows how long. I signed up to cook for her, feed her cats, and clean up when needed. I signed up to supplement where her current caregiver falls short. I was told one thing at the beginning, and now she wants the world. She told my wife, I don't need much, and you don't need to sit in my room. I'd prefer you wait in the other room and live your life till I need to be cared for. She wants us to sit around and wait for her to need something, all day, every day. If we move in, we are effectively trapped till she dies. She will be totally reliant on us, and make it so if we leave her, she'll be screwed. I think she is deliberately trying to set it up that way so she can guilt her child into taking care of her. The idea of my wife going through this with her mom makes me feel sick. The idea of trying to have a life, intimacy, anything, and hearing my Mill interrupting as she shrieks for my wife makes me physically ill. I understand morally it's wrong to leave her homeless, but what about our lives? Mill refuses to meet in the middle or respect boundaries, so we would have to live there on her terms. This isn't even everything. She hosted our wedding in her backyard. We were married at the courthouse a month prior. It was very weird because she set up her own dream wedding she didn't get to have and took basically none of our input on what we wanted. She even made my wife wear the wedding dress she saved for over 20 years and didn't get to wear. Please give me input. I have no idea what to do. My Mill wants an answer on if we are moving in August, and we didn't give her one yet.